Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are getting back into Monte Carlo. This is 86. This is the Revell SS Monte Carlo. So we did this in the MCW Black Cherry, which turned out really nice. And this has been sitting now for a couple weeks probably. So it's got fingerprints on it and all that kind of stuff. So we got a few blemishes and a couple blips in it here and there. So we're going to do is smooth out. Plus you get that little bit of golf ball ripple. I mean, it's pretty smooth. It's pretty nice. Like, I mean, I wouldn't. Anyways, I mean, the hood is almost like glass, but I do have a blip right there, and you can see it in a little one right there. So what we're gonna do is get those out. We're going to polish it. This looks pretty good. I don't know if I got to do anything with that or not. Oh, I got one right there. You know, of course, the hardest spot to sand. I got one right there. It's like a piece of hair or lint or something. Yeah, I didn't see that one incoming. So hopefully my decals lined up when I was doing my kind of pre-shot here. Looks like we're going to be all right. Because I had to kind of somewhat assemble the nose on it and then come back and put the decals on it. Kind of glued the nose in place, put the decals on it, and then once the decals are somewhat dried, I ended up cutting those, then cleared it because that was the only way you can kind of wrap it around and make it fit that way. So that actually worked pretty good. Those look pretty nice. So from this point we are going to get the body cleaned up a little bit and wet sanded. Like I said, don't need a lot, but I know how I know what'll happen because it does to me all the time. I'll start on it and I'll be like, oh, the next thing you know, I'm doing the whole thing, and I didn't want to, but it always ends up that way. Like, wow, I can make this look a little better. So you can see a couple glips in my decals. It's got like some bumps in here. The decals started coming apart on me. There's a little bump right there. You can see it's the double overlap. I don't know, maybe you can't see it, maybe you can, I don't know. So yeah, so I got a couple overlaps on decals because as I was putting them on, they decided to go their separate ways, and it wasn't the way I wanted it to go. So but that's okay, that happens. We got it. It worked out all right. So like I said, we're going to do is we're going to start with this guy here. We're going to start with this awesome stuff, and we're going to run with that. I do have some polish here that my friend Bob gave me from some stuff they sell at their model club. So this is a 4-piece system, and I don't know, maybe I'll give this stuff a try. I've tried it a couple times. I do believe they call it different things. Snap, mag, smooth, magic. Gotta read it all the way. And pop. So I do believe the pop, I believe that's this. I mean, it smells the same, looks the same. Can't say if it tastes the same, but it's like the same stuff. It probably is. It could be. You got to get it from somewhere, right? So maybe I'll give this a try, because I'll tell you what, this one here, I don't know what it is, but it's got a really nice feel to it. Almost feels better than the Final Cut. The Final Cut almost feels like maybe the number 2 they're using. Number 2. There's number 2 right here. Yeah, either way, I'm not sure. It feels like one of them, but anyways, we may give this a try. But first of all, before we get to that point, we got to do some wet sanding and go from there. Oops, bump the camera. I'm at a different side of the desk today, so I may bump the camera intermittently because I don't usually use this side. So once again, we're going to cut off our 3000. So what we're going to start with. And I probably should look in a drawer. I probably have a nice piece in there, but we're just going to go with new and run with that. Okay. Get her in some water. Take a sip of coffee while that's settling. Alrighty. So like I said, I just want to concentrate on a little piece there. I don't know if I want to do the whole hood, just because. So we're going to just get in there and start digging. I did put a little extra clear coat because sometimes when I'm painting this, I'll notice a spot in there, and I'll go a little bit more, just like, I'm going to have to sand that out. So we'll see what happens and run with it from there. So I sanded it out pretty good because I thought it was just right on the top of it, like right on the top layer of clear. There's a little glip right there. So I had to actually sand it out really nice. We'll try this here. So what I'll do is I'll probably end up wet sanding this whole side just from here and here, and not, I'm going to see what happens. We're going to see how it goes. if I have to end up doing the whole thing. So I'm not going to go hard with the rest of it. I'm going to keep it somewhat a little stable, but I just basically want to concentrate on those 2 spots that's in there. So I just use our microfiber towels, and we're going to check and see if that's gone. I can see just a shade of it there. Not too bad. That one's definitely gone. This one I see just a remnants of it. Nothing major. I can probably just leave it, and I'll start with some other sandpaper to kind of smooth it out. So we're going to leave with that. So at this point we're going to jump to some 5000, and you can see this isn't taking long to cut. I mean, it's cutting pretty quick. So I'm looking through my drawer. I already had a piece here, so we're going to run with that. And yeah, so my last video I was telling you about a good hobby knife. Went to a meeting last night for our model club over in Saginaw, and Tony gifted me this, the new Cell. So thank you, Tony. That was awesome. It works really good. It's got the same feature as my other one. You twist it out, take the blade off, but I really like the ergonomical handle. Comfort, smooth, and yeah, it's nice. So we'll definitely be putting this bad boy to the test on our other build we are working on, which I'll be showing you guys sometime soon here for the upcoming shows. I actually got 2 builds I'm doing other than this one for upcoming shows, so we'll be throwing those in the video here in the mix in a little bit. I've been kind of working on it behind the camera, behind the scenes, and one is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, one is actually kind of cool. I don't want to give it away till we get there. I'll get close to it, and I'll show what we're working on, because it's halfway there. So it's kind of excited about it, and I want to take it to shows, be something different. So that's what we're going with. So we're on 5000 at this point. So you can see she's starting to polish up a little bit now. She's starting to get a little more shinier, where you can see, get kind of that harsh dullness out of there. So when we're all said and done, this should almost have a little bit of a shine to it. So I do half the hood that way. I know, because this was super glossy, just like the body. So I want to end up that same shine when we're done. So it's nice to give yourself a reference to compare it to, so you know if you're on the right track or not. Wipe that off real good, and that's looking pretty good. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to drop into the 8000 range, and we'll see how that does. So we're using our 3M Trizac. This is 8000. My last video I showed you guys, I get this off Amazon. It's way cheaper on Amazon. This stuff is very pricey if you find it in the auto parts store, because I haven't yet to find it in the auto parts. So we're just gonna nip it here. I'm gonna write on the back my 8000, because I can see this going back in the box. Just because. We'll put that one to the side, and we'll give this one a run, and we'll go from there. So let's see what we got here. Like I said, I'm just going to do the hood, just the spot, because obviously you can kind of get the idea of what we're doing here. So we're going to complete this from start to finish. I'm going to do polish from A to B, and I'll do the rest of the car off camera, and we'll bring you back when we get it kind of completed. Just so it's not like, because I know this can be kind of, it can be a little monotonous, but you know what? It's all part of the fun. So wipe it off one more time. And now you can see the luster is really starting to come in now. So that one spot is just, I mean, it's barely there. I think you're going to have to look for it if you're looking for it, if that makes sense. Nice thing about wet sanding, even though if it looks really, really nice, I mean, it's pretty hard. I know a lot of guys can do it. It's really hard to get that baby smooth, ultra shine, light glass look. It is achievable, don't get me wrong. But 99% of the time, you're always going to get some spot somewhere where you're going to get that little ripple, like that golf ball kind of effect. I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of times, I know Ford does, and I know a lot of manufacturers do it. They'll actually leave that golf ball texture in their paint, and they do that because they say it reflects the paint better and makes it look shinier. Plus it's probably cheaper, you know, but That's what we were always told, why their paints are not like, why are their paint like really, really smooth? Well, they do that for that reason. So, true or not, I don't know. That's what I was told. I read it on the internet, you know, everything on the internet is true. No, I'm teasing. I was told that like years ago. I think probably before the internet was out. At least accessible. Did the internet come out like in the 70s or something like that for the military? I don't know. We're going into some far beyond place. So there we have it. That looks pretty good. I'm starting to see a little shine action there. So we're going to shine this side up and give it a little polish here, just so you can see where we're at. And apparently I must have touched that corner just a little bit, which is okay. So there's a difference right there. That's non-sanded and sanded. You can already see just the, you know, it gives a nice straight feel to it. So we're going to try this here out. I really haven't given this really a good shot. We're going to try the old snap polishing system. This is from Midwest Scale Models. Their model club sells this. And I don't know much about their sale side of it per se. This was gifted to me by a friend of mine. A little dab'll do ya. Alright, we're just going to use that same towel we were washing it with, or wiping it down with, just to see how that goes. We got a lot on there, that's for sure. Like probably more than we really need. But we're going to see how she does. And I got to move this knife because it's hitting that and it's sitting there bang, bang, bang across the thing. And like, okay. Okay. We'll see what we got here. I feel the burn. I can feel that it's getting somewhere. I feel it because it's got quite a pull to it. It's got quite a drag. So as you can see, we don't want to see color on that rag, that's for sure. We went a little further than we really should have. So this is step one. So we're going to see, you can see already that's turning out pretty nice just from one hit. So that's just to kind of get the scratch out. So if you're looking at a certain light, you can really see the scratches from the sandpaper from what that polish is taking out. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a little bit more. I'm going to try to get a little more closer to the side. You got to be careful because this is basically sandpaper. So you can't just sit there and go town with it's basically sandpaper just eating away. It's just in a liquid form. It's liquid sandpaper. This has quite a cutting agent to it. I can really, like I say, I can really feel it. I feel like I'm getting way more in here than I want, but that little drip it's a powerful drip. It's a little more than I expected. But we're going to try this out and see how she goes. Like I say, this has been sitting, I really never even baked this because I've been in and out of my room. Like I mentioned before to you guys, I don't usually leave my dehydrator on and go out and do stuff. Not that it's probably going to hurt anything, but it's just, you know, it's meant for food, so I don't like putting something that's flammable in there. Once again, it's probably not going to hurt it, but I'm just weird that way. And so that looks a lot better. I mean, look at that. That's step one. So we're going to try step two. I think we're good with that on number one. So let's try this here. Let's see. It's step two. It is lost. Oh, step two. So this is magic. So we'll see what the magic's all about here. So I opened these earlier, so I got to purge them a little bit with the toothpick to get them going, which is no big deal because these are really handy. So when this gets empty, I will definitely be filling it with my wizard and all that stuff because these are a lot handier than dumping it out on the table. So this is interesting because the different type of material they have or the different polishes. This is number two. This feels a lot more like a polish you'd buy from somewhere, just with a, it smells good too. I don't know why I even bother because I have a hard time smelling stuff, you know. I think it's burned out over the years of working on automotive. So when you're doing that, we know we kind of hit the centers, but we also got to make sure we get the edge, but we don't want it to get too heavy on the edge, just enough to say we've been there. This is why I don't want to polish the whole car, because this side of the hood really doesn't need none. This is a pretty nice boat. All in all, in the end, I'm going to polish that just to kind of make sure we blend and match the other side. So I know a lot of you guys mentioned 12,000 on sandpaper. I haven't really I used it one time. I was at Hobby Lobby. They had a pack with there. Those little packs they sell, those little blister packs, and it's got like a lot of them in there. That's really starting to polish out pretty nice. I still got to get to that edge a little bit more. And I need to try it. Like I say, I tried it once before, and I don't know. I'll give it another shot. A lot of you guys have mentioned I should use that, and I probably should, but I don't know. I have pretty good luck with the system I'm using. The automotive paper I use, I feel, is a little more aggressive than your, say, hobby papers like the Tamiyas and stuff like that. I don't know why they would be different. I mean, if it says 5,000, it should be 5,000, but I feel like the automotive is a little more aggressive. So it's your preference, you know, it's whatever you want to use. But for me, I pass auto parts stores, or I'm involved in that stuff all the time, so it's just easier access for me. I guess maybe that's why I like to use it more. It's something I'm used to using, so that's what I've been running with. I feel like I'm breaking this hood because the plastic's really soft, so as I'm holding it, I'll be like, ooh, don't crack it. I have broken car bodies and stuff before doing this. So we're looking pretty good there. This is very time consuming. This isn't a 10-minute one and done, and hey, let's go get some breakfast and call her good. So you can see that's number 2. So we're starting to peel up pretty good. Looks like I got something there. Probably gotta be careful where I lay this rag. So we're almost close to this. We're not quite there, but we're really close. See, and when I do that, it makes me like, oh, let's just polish the whole thing. And a week later, I'm still sanding on it. And every time I pick it up, I'm like, ooh, there's another spot I missed. Oh, another spot. All right, so we're going to try number 3 here. We're going to work our way down the line. And if I decide to, I might try the next time just using my Final Cut and then go to my Shine Master and see what that does for me, just to see the difference. Now this here, I don't know what this is, but this has a wicked little cut to it. I know that. So when I go to the show in Wisconsin, I'm going to ask them about if they can reveal to me what the actual product is, because you can really feel this bite. I mean, this has like a, you know, it's not quite like Barkeeper's Friend, but you know, it's got quite a bite to it, and it's very fine. I mean, it's very, very fine. So it's got quite a, and yes, Orbital obviously is faster, but I've tried it. I burned it. Sometimes I get impatient. So that's why sometimes these paint jobs I like to walk away from them for a bit, and I'll start another project just because I'll be like, come on, let's get this done. When I was a kid, I used to, when I was building models, I used to try to, I mean, I would have been good if we had YouTube back then. I'd have been that guy that had been that 24-hour build. Oh yeah, I'd been done in 12 hours. I mean, I'd stay up all night, you know, eating Pringles and drinking a 2-liter of Faygo and just going to town with that thing, and I'd have it done in no time. I'd get up Saturday morning to turn on some cartoons, and that model is coming down the stairs with me and putting it on the TV. And then I have to bug my mom and dad for another model. So, because back then, you know, we didn't buy these big bulk collections like we have now. You know, I just bought one and done. Well, obviously as a kid, you don't buy them because you're not the one buying them because you're not working. So there's always bug dad and mom and hey, can you give me that model kit? Like I say, I'm not that familiar with this product either, so I'm not like hammering down on it, going to town. Okay, so that's looking pretty dang good. So I'll tell you what, the next step, that was like the magic shot right there, because this is our Shine Master from Wizard, is step 4 in this bottle. As you can see, I used quite a bit of it. This is almost gone because I like using this bottle versus that big, because the tops always get plugged up. This one's a little bit plugged up, not as bad. Oh, yeah, I guess it was a little bit. But if you don't use it all the time, these things get plugged up pretty easy. Now this stuff here is like water. It should be just, I mean, it's, you can tell, I mean, it'll run away from you if you're not careful. So this stuff is the Shine Master, because this is amazing stuff and it works very well. So even if obviously you don't have a, you know, a way to get their Midwest scale model stuff, go to your auto parts store and get the Shine Master, because this stuff for a final shine, because you don't even wax it or nothing. This is basically your wax sealer all in one. So once I put this on here, this is it. This is the final run, and it's one and done, and you're good to go. I did find to put this on, and I'll go a couple different times with this. I'll put it on like kind of a buff, and I'll let it sit, and then I'll come back and hit it once it dries, and then I'll do it again. So we're going to let that set just for a minute. And at this time, I'm going to get out the special towel. And this is more like a terry cloth. You know, they're real thick. Yeah, I mean, this is good stuff. So I'll buff it with this because I feel this has more of a softer compound to it, or more of a softer feel to it. And, you know, sometimes I think sometimes microfiber can scratch. Sometimes, you know, just don't throw it on the floor. Because we all know microfiber picks up everything. So you can see it kind of hazes like a wax. So obviously the longer you can leave it sit, you can see now just like it wipes right off like it's nothing. So now we'll just give it a quick polish. And I'm sure I still got to finesse it a little bit in some corners or whatever. So there you have it. That stuff works really, really good. So now we can compare non-side to the wet sanded side. Yeah, I mean, we got pretty much the same luster going on. This here is more flat because I can see my LED lights up top. I can actually see the individual LEDs. I got the LEDs that has like, I don't know, there's like 1,000 lights, LEDs in each strip. This one, I can make them out, but they're a little on the blurry side. Where this one here, they're pretty clear. So obviously polishing is going the way. So like I say, I'll probably do is give this a hit over here just a little bit. Just to kind of match the two sides. But I see I got a little scratch right here, so I might try to maybe wet sand that just a little more with some 8000 and just try to pop that out of there and kind of run with that. But so that's how I do these. Pretty much that's the wet sanding of this car. So I'm going to go through and probably hit some more of it because like I say, I got a lot of little spots in here. There's more in here after it kind of dried and cured, but I do have some puckers where the decals are. So I got to be careful of those because I don't need to run into that where I really don't need to, because I got a blip right here and there's a little tiny something right there. But that's, other than that, this is pretty clean. So we're going to go through and touch up some spots. I'm going to hit this hood just a little bit more, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with the car, and we'll do a show off on it and run with that. Alright guys, so we went through and we finished this up, so I think it's looking pretty good. I got a little bit of touch up doing around the edges. I'm just kind of doing a quick once over to finish it up for the night. I think it turned out pretty nice. It's a lot smoother. It still has that nice wet look shine that I wanted. Like I say, I can see just a little spot right there. I got to kind of touch up. But other than that, I like it. It turned out pretty nice. So that's kind of how I do these. Now the body, I actually just went with my Wizard on this, and I don't know, it seems like it cuts pretty quick, so I end up with the finish cut first and then the Shine Master at the end. So we did this and this, and that turned out pretty nice all said and done. So there's no like wax or anything on it. See, I don't really wax them a lot of times. I really shouldn't say at all per se, just because at this point we're just still getting started on the body. So because I'm going to end up doing is probably masking some of this off, and it's going to get painted flat black. So I don't have wax on there, and my paint's not going to stick to it. But I got to get the window treatment out, because some of the windows are already pre-painted black for me, so I got to check that out. But definitely around here, this is probably going to get a black treatment, because obviously it wasn't Black Cherry from the factory. So we're going to go through and do that next and run with that. But I think it turned out pretty good. I could have did a little more down here, but I don't know. I think it looks all right. She's not going to be no show car, nothing like that. So we're just going to get it to where it's finished up and run with that. Because I just wasn't happy with the decals on this car. So it kind of made me like, we'll just put it together and call it good. So we did the hood. So this side you saw, I wet sanded this and polished. And there's no wet sand here, but I did run the polish over it like this just to keep it uniform. So you can see it's kind of the same contrast. Other than that, so I think it's looking pretty good. So from there, we're gonna, I know if I clip that in there, it's hard to get that out of there. So we end up finishing up the front clip. I did a little bit here. Man, that's a bugger to get out. And there's such a line right there. It's just gonna be an issue. Plus, there was bubbles in the decal that didn't want to go out of there. So I just give it a little bit. Didn't go crazy with it. Still got some lint and stuff on there from the towel. But there we go, guys. I thought I'd just give you a quick we wet sanded the Black Cherry, so it's looking pretty good. So from here we're going to start getting some of the bodies assembled, basically the car assembled. So I'm pretty much going to probably just build it, and when I get done with it, I'll show you guys a final review in the end, and we'll run with it from there. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on the next video.